This is a video of the Genghis Khan statue complex in Mongolia. We took a trip on the Trans-Siberian Railroad from Moscow to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, May 22nd to June 7th, 2018. The tour was organized by the Travel All Russia Firebird Tour Group. This video of the Genghis Khan statue complex is part 5B of our trip to Mongolia. All of our videos can be seen on our Conscience Films YouTube site. This video was produced from pictures taken by Abe and video taken by me. The cameras were handheld. Tripods were never used. We are now approaching the Genghis Khan statue complex, located in the Tourist and Recreation Center, which covers 520 acres. It is located on the bank of the Tul River at Sonjan Baldog, approximately 34 miles east of Ulaanbaatar. Note that Genghis Khan, as pronounced in English, is spelt and pronounced Genghis Khan in Mongolian. These are bronze statues of Mongol horsemen and warriors. There are a number of steps leading up to the statue, as you can see. The wind is very strong. The statue is 40 meters or 130 feet tall and symbolically points east towards his birthplace. The statue sits on top of the Genghis Khan Visitor Center and Museum, which has 36 columns representing the 36 Khans from Genghis to Ligdan Khan, and was erected in 2008. Shown on the screen are the names of the sculptor and architect. I will not attempt to pronounce their names. You can see people walking around on the head of the horse. It's very hard to hold the camera still with all this wind. And this is a view looking down from the head of the horse. You can see the parking lot and the stairs coming up to the monument. The warriors. Abe is standing by one of the statues of the horsemen to give you an idea of the size. According to this book entitled Genghis Khan, Conqueror of the World by Leo de Hartog, the Mongols had learnt riding and archery as small children. Their proficiency was such that when mounted, they could hit a man at distances of between 200 and 400 meters. If necessary, they slept sitting on their horses. Each man had one reserve horse, and sometimes as many as 3 or 4. This is a secret of the speed with which the Mongols could cover very great distances. Genghis Khan is revered by the Mongolians as the great conqueror of the world. As you will hear later in this video, Hitler referred to Genghis Khan's ruthlessness when he made the statement, "Who remembers the extermination of the Armenians?" These are several pictures taken by Abe, showing more detail. We have now entered the Visitors Center, which includes the museum, shops, and restaurant. This is reputedly an accurate image of Genghis Khan. I will attempt to read this little brief on Genghis Khan. Forgive me if I don't pronounce the words properly. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongolian state, Temujin or Chinggis Khan, was born in 1162, the year of the Black Horse, in Dulun Baldog on the bank of River Onan. It is Henti Amag territory, as the eldest son of Yashiki, Batar, and Mother Olin. Genghis Khan united all scattered Mongol clans and tribes and established a united state, the Mongol Empire. He assumed the throne in 1206, the year of the Red Tiger, and passed away in 1227, the year of the Red Pig. The first capital of his empire was Hudu Aral on Herlan River, present Avaga Tausen in Henti Amag.
So since 13th century, we using this upright script till now. At school, learn 2 years, This is only one script which is upright. We say with the posture because it's upright. We write top to the bottom, left to the right. It has 27 letters, Uyghur Mongol script. So I can read, all Mongols can read. There is the sheet of the secret Mongol history of Mongols. Yeah, that's translated in English. You can buy in maybe at home, and they can read Mongols history. Tour guide give you a short introduction. Okay.
This is very historical place now we are standing because Genghis Khan, when he was 17 years old, he went to his first war to get back his bride, Burtoqueen. Burtoqueen is Genghis' wife and she was stolen by another tribe. So Genghis King took some assistance from his father's friend and won the battle and took back his wife back. And on the back way, Genghis Khan found one golden horse whip around this area. And that's a legend based on true history. So owner of this place chose around this area and built this Genghis statue here and made this giant horsewhip for the legend. And this horsewhip long is 4 meters. It is covered by several gold and bronze. Mongolian, some people believe that if man finds horsewhip, that person will be very lucky in the future because Genghis Khan started his battle conquest after he found the golden horsewhip. Okay, and this is Mongolian tradition script calligraphy. Okay, now let's talk about this boot. This boot is the biggest Mongolian traditional boot in the world. It is handmade and it is registered in Guinness Book record. And this boot high is 9 meters, long is 6 meters. It is one of the wonder of the handmade wonders in the world. And it's made of 225 pieces of square cow leather, 300 liters of glue, 4,500 meters ropes, and 120 meters felt. It is made like a real boot, and this boot size is 7,605. And this traditional boot is called the eco-friendly boot because this boot front is up, because it's good for a horse riding and good for a grass and ground. And it took 6 months to make this boot because it's handmade. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are only showing a few of the exhibits to give you a bit of an overview of the museum. As a result of an echo in the museum, making it hard to understand Atko, our Mongolian guide, we lowered the sound. We are therefore unable, in most cases, to hear her describe the exhibits. This is an exhibit on the Great Khan period dating from the 13th to the 14th centuries. Everyday utensils, belt buckles, knives, sacred animals, etc., can be seen in the museum.
Ogudu started ruling all Mongolia. Genghis Khan wanted magnificent capital city, that is Krikorian in Mongolia, but he died. He completed Krikorian city in 1235, and then he started expanding this tax system, territories, Ogudu Khan. Sagata Khan, he actually conquered all Siberia, made Sagata state, golden horde state. Yeah? That's it.
Before climbing up and going out on the horse's head, we had lunch. Enk, our driver, and Otko sat at a separate table so they could discuss plans for the afternoon. The rest of us enjoyed lunch together. Very strong winds.
What they don't know, or want you to know, when Hitler, on the eve of the invasion of Poland by the Nazi German Wehrmacht, said, "Do not spare anyone, behave like Genghis Khan." After all, who remembers the extermination of the Armenians? So it depends on one's perspective, doesn't it?
This book, which was published in 1985, entitled Hitler and the Armenian Genocide by Kevork Bardakjian, is one of several works that deal exclusively with Hitler's statement regarding the extermination of the Armenians. In 1942, Louis P. Lochner, former bureau chief of the Associated Press in Berlin, published a book entitled What About Germany? The first chapter in the book is entitled The Modern Genghis Khan. According to page 1, paragraph 2, Hitler gave a speech 1 week before his assault on Poland entitled Contents of Speech to the Supreme Commanders and Commanding Generals, Obersalzberg, August 22, 1939. I will read a quote from this speech on page 2. Our strength consists in our speed and in our brutality. Genghis Khan led millions of women and children to slaughter, with premeditation and a happy heart. History sees in him solely the founder of a state. It's a matter of indifference to me what a weak Western European civilization will say about me. I have issued the command, and I'll have anybody who utters but one word of criticism executed by a firing squad, that our war aim does not consist in reaching certain lines, but in the physical destruction of the enemy. Accordingly, I have placed my death head formations in readiness for the present only in the east, with orders to them to send to death mercilessly and without compassion men, women, and children of Polish derivation and language. Only thus shall we gain the living space, Lebensraum, which we need. Who, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians? And finally, we would like to suggest an 8-minute video on Genghis Khan. You can probably access the video by just typing into your browser Genghis Khan explained in 8 minutes by the Life Guard. All of our videos can be seen on our Conscience Films YouTube site. The URL for the site and our email address are given here.